Good morning and many thanks for joining us from wherever you're watching. This is Y254 News Updates in the morning. I am Hilda Wathithi, and let's take a look at some of the stories that made the headlines. President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party will hire 290 lawyers and deploy them to constituency tallying centers in an elaborate plan they say will right the wrongs identified by the Supreme Court. Our Y News reporter Hilda has that report.
The lawyers will be required to follow through the results transmission process in the October 26 repeat presidential election after the August 8 poll was annulled by the Supreme Court on Wathithi irregularities and illegalities. The lawyers will report to an elected Jubilee Party MP or one who was a candidate and lost on August 8 polls and who will act as President Kenyatta's chief agent at the constituencies. The chief agent will also be in charge of an information technology expert and an elections expert. At the polling station, Jubilee Party has set up checklist for the agents to tick as the statutory results declaration form 34A is being filled by the presiding officer. The party has also asked all its agents to ensure they get a legible carbon copy of the form before it leaves the polling station. President Kenyatta has insisted that he was robbed of his victory on the basis of process rather than the will of the people, and has said that the Supreme Court should have ordered a recount of the ballot papers. Dereva Hillary for Y254 News.
Now, the National Police Service has denied allegations that the police have so far killed 33 people in the post-election demos. Human rights watchdog Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch had on Tuesday released a report claiming that the police were directly implicated in the deaths. Our Y News reporter has the details.
The 33 victims were reportedly killed during police operations in Mathare, Kibera, Dandora, Babadogo, Korogocho and Kawangware between August 9 and 13, 2017. The report by the two organizations reported that as many as 50 people, mainly from opposition stronghold in the capital, could have lost their lives during the protest against President Kenyatta's win. Other victims, the rights defenders claim, died of asphyxiation from inhaling tear gas and pepper spray, from being hit by tear gas canisters fired at close range, or from being trampled to death by fleeing crowds. A similar report was released last week by the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and equally dismissed by police headquarters, which is under intense pressure from the opposition to justify Friday's killing of 3 people shot dead in Bondo after they were accused of storming police station. Dereva Hillary for Y254 News.
And now the European Union has called for dialogue and compromise ahead of the October 26th repeat election, even as it lauded efforts by the electoral agency to right the wrongs identified in the annulled August 8th poll. In a statement, the EU Observer Mission in Kenya warned the political aggravation was not good for the country ahead of the polls. Our Y News reporter has this and more.
The mission warned that the no elections call by Raila Odinga of National Super Alliance NASA and the insistence by President Kenyatta's Jubilee Party to pass controversial amendments to electoral laws are seriously damaging democratic functioning. Dialogue and cooperation are urgently needed for compromise so that there can be a peaceful electoral process with integrity and transparency, and Kenyans can choose their president. The mission had developed 18 suggestions for reforms before the repeat poll, 9 of which were concerning the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. In its assessment of the implementation of the suggestions, the mission said the IEBC had done well in nearly all of the 9 recommendations. The European Union said it will continue observing the repeat poll, with its 24 long-time observers currently serving in different parts of the country. Reporting for Y254 News, my name is Patricia Murioki.
Now, reports reveal that the National Super Alliance CEO Norman Magaya has allegedly gone into hiding after word got out that the police were looking for him, with links to the demos he called last Wednesday that saw the looting and destruction of property. Our Y News reporter has this and more.
2017, a Mr. Norman Magaya, allegedly the CEO of NASA, notified the Nairobi County Police Commander of the intention to hold peaceful demonstrations in Nairobi. And I've asked the police to circulate this notification to you. During that demonstration, serious cases of destruction of public property, looting.
The warrant for Magaya's arrest came after CS Fred Matiang'i said the government will charge him for calling the demos that turned out badly on Wednesday. The government has since then banned NASA demos within the nation's CBDs as they had turned chaotic with widespread looting and destruction of property taking place. The CEO is said to be responsible for opposition supporters who looted a Nairobi restaurant and destroyed vehicles. Magaya has not been spotted by the police since Thursday last week. The police have visited various places in the city where Magaya frequents but have failed to locate the CEO. The police, however, did leave instructions that he should report to the police station with immediate effect. Matiang'i called upon all Kenyans whose property was destroyed or looted during the demonstration to report to OCS Nairobi Central Police Station to facilitate legal actions against Magaya.
And in other news, a second-year student at the University of Nairobi Upper Kabete campus is dead. Janet Wangoi Nganga, a Bachelor of Science and Horticulture student, is said to have been poisoned while attending a friend's party. Our Y News reporter has the details of the story. Now, the death toll from the most powerful bomb blast ever witnessed in Somalia's capital on Saturday the 14th has risen to 300. Officials now fear the toll will continue to rise from the truck bomb in Mogadishu that targeted a busy street near key government ministries. Our Y News reporter has the story.
The developing story from the blast this weekend has seen the death toll increase by at least 276, with more than 300 injured. Ambulance sirens echoed in the city of Mogadishu after the truck bomb saw many bewildered families wander in the rubble of buildings in search of their missing relatives. The doctors from Medina Hospital claimed to be overwhelmed in the struggle to assist wounded victims, many who were burned beyond recognition, and the dead. Angry protesters gathered near the scene of the attack as Somalia's government blamed the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab extremist group for what was termed as a national disaster. However, the Al-Shabaab have yet to make a comment. Somalia's President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed declared 3 days of mourning and joined the thousands of people who responded to the desperate plea by hospitals for blood donation. Hilda Wathithi for Y News.
And in the international scene, nearly all the results from Tuesday's poll in Liberia have been counted. The Election Commission says Mr. Weah, the first African to win the Ballon d'Or Football Award, is leading with 39%. Mr. Boakai is in second place with 29%. A second round between the pair has been set for 7th of November. Have a look at the story.
The two are still leading the field of 20 candidates who competed to succeed Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Africa's first female elected president and a winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. Fewer than 5% of the polling stations have yet to declare results. However, for a candidate to be declared a winner, they need more than 50% of the votes for outright victory. If no one achieves that, a second round will be held in November. But final results from the polls are expected by October 25th. A runoff will be held next month if no one has won a majority. A runoff is thus expected between Mr. Ware, the only African to ever win the World Footballer of the Year award in 1995, and Mr. Boakai, who earlier on Sunday said he still hoped to be elected president. Reporting for Y254, I'm Doreen Arange.
And ladies and gentlemen, that just about concludes our bulletin for today. This has been Y254 News Updates in the Morning. I am Hilda Wathithi. Please keep it Y in the Morning with at Shiko Kaitani and at Kalami Val as they bring you more on this. See you again tomorrow.